How's it going, guys? It's Poetry Stud, and welcome back to another episode of the Carthage campaign in, I was going to say EU4. No, this is Imperator Rome, the new game coming out from Paradox, focused on, it is a successor, a spiritual successor to Europa Universalis Rome, and has a lot of EU4 elements, a lot of CK2 elements, but certainly it is its own thing. It is not a ripoff, you know. So this is actually very interesting. This is kind of a nice event. Our governor gains of Magna Graecia, right, which is down here. He will gain 10 loyalty, which is not a huge deal. He's almost maxed. But 5 Siculian tribesmen are going to become... Siculian is a Latin culture there. Are going to become Carthaginian. That's really good. That's the equivalent of like 100 oratory power that we don't have to spend. Alternatively, a lot of time that would be spent converting them, naturally. We do get unrest, 2 unrest, and that is a good bit, but it only lasts 10 years, so I'm definitely going to do that. Okay. We captured a general. Okay. That fort should fall soon enough. Where did that army go? Oh, I already caught it. Okay, cool. Good to know. This army going around sieging my stuff is not cool. Once we get that fort, we might be able to peace out. I don't know. Normally, the peace deals in this game seem pretty like forgiving. Like you can not own all their stuff and still get all their stuff. You know, they could have armies wandering around still, and they might still let you like full annex them. Like there's a certain level of forgiveness there, because I think they want it to be a little more user-friendly than some like EU4 wars can be, or Victoria 2 wars for that matter. So you can see we're making a good bit of money, which is why we're probably gonna buy a mercenary company. I think we might do this now. So like for instance, so the way mercenaries work, they are, again, you start with a lot just sitting around in all your provinces, not in all your provinces, but in big cities. They normally just hang out and they're like, hey, you want to hire us? And normally they are pretty expensive, obviously, right? So like this is 10,000 troops that costs us about 10 ducats a month. Ducats? It's not ducats, gold. But we can afford it. One thing that's interesting is that to do it, to hire them, you have to have enough money at the start to be able to disband them. When you disband the units, you pay them a big chunk of money all at once. It also costs them military power to recruit them. I had kind of said before there wasn't much use for military power. This is one use. And so you have to, when you're paying them a month, you pay them a certain salary, but then you also have to pay to be like, okay, here's your severance package. We're definitely going to hire these guys, actually. They start with no morale, so we cannot use them right away. But, hey, there we go, nice. Cool, so those are going to flip automatically, so let's not even worry about them. Let's come down here with you. Okay, we're going to push from west to east. Alright, so where was that battle? Oh, naval battle, okay, cool. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this war is going. These are the only guys that are really giving us some trouble here, but that's okay. Our allies, or our vassals, are doing some good work, so could be worse. Again, we're making plenty of money off of trade now, so that's awesome. Okay, so I had started talking last episode about how pops work and stuff, and I think we should continue. We're only on speed 3, it's not really like a big deal. I think speed 3 is good for wartime. Speed 4, again, I'm recording this, and this game, one thing I have noticed is this game runs a little bit slower than like I think EU4 or CK2 at this point, but I'm sure they're going to work on optimizing it as they do all their games. And beyond that, I think part of it is just like, well, so keep in mind, this is about the size of the CK2 map. It's missing some parts, obviously, right up here. This is all wasteland, but still, it's about the size geographically of CK2, and the amount of detail compared to CK2, like looking at Sicily alone, gives you a good idea, or Greece, is like 5 times as much detail in terms of number of provinces. So I think that it's like it's just there's a lot going on, and like the amount of countries, like look at just Iberia, for instance. It's crazy how many provinces and different countries there are. It's crazy, and Gaul and stuff, and like in the city-states in Greece. Look at how detailed it is. So it makes sense that it runs a little slow. I think actually, unlike CK2, in my experience, I think the game starts to run slightly better the longer you go, because stuff starts consolidating. And unlike CK2, when they have nowhere to go in this game, I think they just disappear. It's not like you have to wait, it's not like the number of characters keeps building up. The number of countries is really the main thing, and that goes down over time. So, I don't know, though. I don't have enough experience to really say if that's going to hold up true long-term, if that is a trend. But, still. No. One thing I don't like is that normally in EU4, when you hover over things, when you go, like, box select, it defaults to armies on land. In this game, it doesn't. It actually just does the first one it hovers over. Alright, we have new civic power stuff. I think we will take, I think we're going to do Army Moran. I think we'll do National Tribesman output. So that gives me a good chance. Ooh, let's go and get in there. You can see our vassals are helping. This gives us a good chance to talk about what are tribesmen doing, what do all these things do. So, oh, hey, before that, sorry, there's so much to do, so much to talk about. We should actually, this is a bit of an issue, possibly. Our heir, this means elections are about to happen, right? October of 55. So, right now, our the leading candidate is Barak Bal Metalid. He's the governor of Italia, so Sardinia right now. Again, regions, and Italia is this and this. Magna Graecia is this stuff down here. He is, he's alright stat-wise, but I don't really like the fact that he's a populist. Populists make everything 10% more expensive, and that's not good, obviously. Whereas all the other ones give you bonuses. They give you a malice. However, again, you do have to have them to go monarchy mode, but I don't really want to do that right now. I want to stay as a senate, an oligarchy right now. So, what can we do? Well, we can actually... Ooh, the Barca family. Okay. We can actually affect this. So, Barak Bal is 23 votes, right? But if we look at Matalo Eugarid, we can search for him, but I want to see if he's any of these up here. Alright, well, I guess we're going to have to search for him. Matalo. You can see we have a lot of characters in our country. A lot of babies. I just want to say, the babies look hilarious. Maybe it's because my graphics aren't turned all the way up. But, like, they... Actually, hold on. I just want to show you guys something. Like, look, the way the portraits look is a little silly. Because literally the older they get, the higher they get. So the more of them you can see. The more of them you can see as they like progress up the portrait, and it just looks hilarious. I'm sorry. Like, anyways, okay. Anyways, so Matalo Eugarid. Let's look at Matalo. There we go. Eugarid. Okay, Matalo, you kind of suck. Oh, yeah, and I don't like you either, so... Barakbal Metalid. Wait. Barakbal Metalid? There's a different Barakbal Metalid. This Barakbal Metalid. He is the governor of Baetica, so Spain. Okay. I mean, honestly... Ooh, he's Phoenician. That's interesting. So he's not actually... that makes sense. He's from Baetica. And he's from the mercantile faction. So national commerce income and diplomatic reputation. Diplo-rep has a similar function as an EU4. I actually would rather have him. However, I don't think there's really ways... I don't think we can swing it that far. But I will try. So, here's how we swing the vote. We go over to our character here, the dude we don't like, and we smear his reputation. And that's basically what you do. You can do other stuff too, like imprison people, but that's a little more severe and has more penalties. Let's go find Metallo, because we also need to smear his reputation. Oh, you know why he's up there? He's our general. Generals oftentimes get a lot of popularity, right? As happened in Roman times, in Rome. All right, so Egypt threatened war on someone and got the promise for free. Okay, that can happen in this game, just like in U4. Okay, I think we're getting close to being done with this war. Let's go over here and look. Can we, we could take everything we have, but we don't actually own the capital here. We don't have the capital occupied. So we need to come up here and grab this capital. And once we do that, we should be able to finish this war off. Okay. So we gotta wait for a monthly tick. Let's see what the effect happened. He is still leading, unfortunately. That's unfortunate, because I think we don't have enough time to fix it. I want to smear his reputation again, maybe. I don't think he can go negative, though, so I don't know if that's actually going to have any effect. We'll try it. We'll, you know... No, I didn't really mean to do that, but you know what? Sure, dude. Yeah, stop seeking treatment. That's fine. Alright. We'll see. I think we're still going to have the populist dude come into control. But again, it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just going to suck. And he has decent stats. He's just going to... It'll be more expensive to spend on stuff as well. So let's see who is going to be elected. There's going to be a freeze as it calculates. It is Barak Bal Matalid. Again, he has decent stats across the board. So that's one good thing. It's just that it'll kind of be canceling out that bonus to the points because of the cost. So... Still, though, not the worst thing in the world. Certainly could be worse. And I guess we need to set a new dude there for those advances. Okay. Starving pops because of blockades and sieges. So I'm going to wait till this thing falls, and then we should be able to get out of this war. We're suffering bad attrition, and that's not good. That's okay. So I think we should be able to get out of this war now with everything we want, with their whole country, right? It's going to be 36 aggressive expansion. That is nasty. That is nasty, but it's a big country, right? And I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it just to solidify our control over this whole area, right? So let's do it. We get some money out of it. Yeah. And it's not worth it to make them subjects. Because, what is the difference between tributary and tribal vassal? I actually don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm pretty sure either of them you can't integrate, and we want to integrate this land sooner rather than later. So, we're going to go ahead and do it. There's no day tick before doing it. It just happens. So, we have made them... So, I guess it's not terrible. It is a decent... That is significant malice. Wrong culture group goes down by 36%. When you completely destroy a country, you actually have a chance to like sacrifice them all the leaders of that country for popularity, right? Everyone likes a good execution. You can also get, you can imprison them. You can do, do it based on each family. You can banish them and lose aggressive expansion. And normally I do the top two, so I'm going to do this one. So we can lose some of that malice. And immediately, let's just look around at what changed. So first off, you can see, actually... So like for instance, we owned these two before. We just conquered the rest. And this was the capital. The capital moved on its own to here because this is, I guess, just historical reasons. Again, I don't really know why, but... that's okay. It's not a huge deal. The capital doesn't really matter too much. What we want to do definitely now is cultural assimilation. And we can't change anymore. Makes sense. But yeah. We have cultural assimilation in a lot of places already. This is a big province. Wow. And so yeah, so this will slowly start assimilating culture-wise. And actually, you can already see the effects, right? Because I believe previously... I believe we didn't actually have... Maybe this was Carthaginian to start. Maybe it was, but still, if you go look at like like along here, some of these are starting to be converted naturally because of this policy, and it's kind of cool. I do like how you can convert people over time just by having policies. It's not like EU4 where the only way to culture convert is by spending points. I always like when Paradox takes things and makes it doesn't have any penalty to doing it, no point cost. I like things that are balanced more naturally based on unrest, right? Instead of artificially having point cost for everything. I like things that are more just like naturally over time stuff will happen, like culture conversion or religious conversion. And I think they've done a good job modeling that in this game. So, in any case, we're done with that war. Let's regroup our armies here. We're definitely almost certainly gonna have some rebels at some point. Supply limit is real bad along most of here. Tell you what, I'm gonna keep you here in that province. I'm gonna pull you back to the capital. Okay. Meanwhile, ships just going to port somewhere. So like here's their capital. It's a decent province, but it's only really 4 population total, not that much. Again, Mauritania probably going to be our next target. We'll see. We're going to wait a bit. Okay, we do have a bad research ratio, and that comes mostly from having a lot of province loyalty problems, and that is mostly due to stuff being the wrong culture and having the policies that make them be like more unrest. So we might have issues with that. We'll have to see if we need to change around some stuff. Sure thing. Again, we're making a good amount of money. Those mercs, by the way, I am going to keep them around. I'm not going to get rid of them as you would in like EU4. Uh-oh. The slaves of Zukubar are revolting. Harsh treatment and high numbers have led the slaves of Zukubar to leave. Any cities that fall to rebel army will see their slave pops join their rebellion. This is interesting. That's not good. I don't like that. Hold on. Pause. Oh, we need to smash that right away. They're starting on a fort, luckily. So, forts also have the defensive thing, right? Where if they're sieging, if your enemy is sieging your fort and you attack, you get the defensive bonuses. Or they get the defensive penalties. Offensive penalties, I guess? Yeah. Still, should be easy. It's a slave army. So, we can crucify all of them. Lovely. Or we can, and that gives us, again, national citizen and freeman happiness. Slave happiness goes down. No tribesman change. Or we can do amnesty. I will actually, well, hold on, let's go look. Let's min-max. Our population is only 21% slave. Citizens and freemen make up 50%. Nope, make an example. Anyways, lovely. Let's actually take this as a moment to continue talking about pops, because I think they're really important. So you can see here are the 4 types of pops. We kind of talked about how slaves give you tax, right? And that's pretty much all they do. Tribesmen give you tax and manpower. They actually... So yeah, they don't give you as much tax, but they give you manpower instead, and manpower is obviously very important. However, they don't give you... They're like a mix between slaves and freemen don't pay taxes, right? Because the taxes in this game really mean just like the right to practice like your religion or stuff like that. I don't know. Like freemen don't actually have to pay the taxes or whatever. We'll get to that in a second. So freemen pay don't pay taxes, but they give you manpower, more manpower than tribesmen. And then so they're just manpower basically. And then there's citizens, and citizens are the highest level. Citizens they don't pay you money, but they are the ones who you get your research points from. So the more citizens you have, the more research points you're going to get. And that is obviously pretty important. I think I haven't played long enough for it to be super relevant, but I think even especially the longer we go, we'll see a huge difference. If we fight someone like Egypt or Rome, who has a higher tech thing than us, although we should be able to keep up, But if that happens, it's not going to be good. Whereas on the other hand, if we outpace all the tribes of Iberia, who are all basically tribal governments, except for like a couple Greek colonies, but if we go to Iberia and beat up some Iberic tribes, it should be a bonus to us. So, and beyond that, they give commerce value, right? These are the consumer class. And the consumer value, I don't think is that much, honestly, But it does add up, and it's still a little bit of money from that. So Portus Divinus was over here somewhere, right? Portus Divinus, yeah. Freeman. Carthaginian freeman, a citizen. Carthaginian slaves. I think we want citizens. Citizens are pretty good. They are not are the right religion, but that's okay. Not a huge deal. They are Carthaginians, so. We actually have blockaded ports by pirates. Pirates are a thing in this game. Guess who's not going to let that stand? Actually, I already have Third Navy. Already has a general. I guess that's that icon. Okay. Well, the more you know. Okay. We can call that one an omen again. I think this time I'm actually going to do... commerce would probably be good. Yeah, let's do commerce. Let's get some money going. So you can see we have war exhaustion here. It goes down. It'll take 8 months to go down, or you could spend it down. That's expensive. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So yeah, so the reason I'm focusing on cultural assimilation in most of our provinces we've conquered is because, for one thing, that is more important for happiness than religion. And two, these oratory PowerPoints are used for a lot more stuff than religious PowerPoints, right? The oratory power is what you use to convert culture, and I'd rather not use that for that. I'd rather just let it happen naturally, even if it takes longer. Whereas religious power is only really used for omens, which only happen every 5-10 years or whatever. It varies. And then for, like, stability, right? And our stability is normally not going to be something that changes that frequently. So, oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that it's stuff here. So, anyways, so with that being said, religious power, I would much rather just spend the religious power to convert other religions. So, for instance, like, look at this. We can see these are all, when you go to the macro builder, which is, a nice thing in any Paradox game. When you go to the macro builder here, you can see, you're like, wait a minute, this is not all the wrong religion stuff. There's more than that. There are. But this is all the citizens who are the wrong religion, right? Then you can look at all the freemen who are the wrong religions, all the slaves, and all the tribesmen. So citizens are not as common, and since those are like the top of your society, you normally just start with those. I think that's a good way to do it. So, oh, these are actually Jewish pops. Interesting. So we converted all the Jews there. I feel like we might as well, do some of this stuff. Spend a little bit. We'll save some, but that's just to show you guys how that works, roughly. Okay, so I think our next goal is going to be save up for war with Mauritania. Hold on, I want to look at something. Okay, we won those naval battles. We lost, we didn't lose any ships. All right, so we can do this. Restructure the military harbor of Carthage. You lose 400, but we get that ship recruit speed and stuff until the end of the game. There's no reason not to do it now. I feel like it'll be pretty darn good to do that. So, let's do that. Is that only in Carthage itself? It is, but that's okay. We can go in here and manually build more galleys. Still though, that's pretty good. Beyond that, we should get another trader, right? Didn't say that. Maybe not. All right. Well, that's okay. So you can see manpower, we get 250 a month, but we suffered a lot in that war. And so this is why I think money is a lot easier to come by than manpower. And that is why mercenaries are very helpful. They're expensive, sure, but we're making plenty of money. So having 10 mercenaries to kind of take the brunt of a lot of battles is helpful. It's going to be helpful. So, yeah. I think we should go ahead and start preparing for our next war. Minor gripe I have with the game is that there is somewhat of a lack of what I consider a nice feature in EU4, which is, and CK2, which is, as far as I know, here, I'll show you. As far as I know, there's no button for attach to boat, and that's kind of lame. But you know what? No, this one does have light cavalry, so they should. Yeah, they're mine. I'm not gonna mess with your setup here. Let's really put the war elephants in first, and then the light infantry, though. There you go. Do deception. So, as far as I can tell, there's no button for this. Even if you put like attachments allowed, this is kind of cool. You can do like different things to be more effective in certain ways. So attachments allowed. No, there's no button as far as I can tell to do this. So unfortunately, the only way to get on boats is to do this. Just wait one. So that's kind of lame, but it is what it is. I'm sure they'll add that eventually. Okay, let's go down here with this army, I think. Well, actually, you know what? No. We'll have them go down this way. Our other armies will come in here. Okay. Here we go. So you can see we're progressing in tech pretty decently. Okay, I'm actually going to do diplomatic reputation. Because I think at some point we're going to start working on annexing our current vassals. Okay, so let's go look at this province, which is a mostly conquered land. Our loyalty is going down a good bit every month, and that's not good. Don't get me wrong. But there's only so much we can do about it. So, meanwhile, yeah, this is another one here. All right, 31st of December. Hold on. How long has this episode been going for? 25 minutes. Probably going to need to wrap it up here in a second, especially because I have to go soon. Won't be able to record more today, but okay. Someone is recovering from a treatment somewhere. Sure. Whatever. Oh no, I didn't wait long enough. Gosh darn it. Okay. So, one thing that I haven't talked about is colonization. There is a, well, I don't think it's not really a huge focus of the game, because it's like, unlike what kind of happened in the few hundred years before this start date, there was colonization of like Sicily and in like Iberia, which is why Emporion exists here. Emporion was a Greek colony, and you can see it's Massalian culture, Hellenic religion. It is in the Greek culture group, and it is a Hellenic religious stuff, same as Massalia. Those were Greek colonies, and Hemeriskopaion, right? But this does not really model colonization of Iberia. I don't know if that there is any way that could happen. If provinces can go abandoned, I'm not sure. But there are provinces that can be colonized in the game. Unlike EU4 or something, there's no additional tech you need to take to get it to colonize. It's just if there is a valid province, you can colonize it. So for instance, that might be slightly relevant to us down here. These provinces here, south of Mauritania, are not inhabited. And what's really nice is that there's not much downside to doing it. It just is a lot of times just going to give you just more land. The only thing is there are some prerequisites. So to colonize, you must have an adjacent city with at least 10 pops. And you also, it doesn't tell you this, but you also have to have that adjacent, the primary culture of that adjacent city has to be your primary culture, or your culture group, I think, but and the primary religion has to be your religion. So that is luckily already true of Rutibis and this one here, but we don't have 10 pops. So, soon we should be able to colonize this, and it'll be a slow, natural process. And I kind of like that, right? It's natural, it's pretty cheap, but you're not going to get a huge amount of benefit right away either. This is also colonizable. There's a little bit over here in North Africa that we'll get eventually, I'm sure. Really, there's actually Carthaginians already here, huh? And then the last thing is up here. There is a lot of uncolonized land that over time, naturally, the Germanic and Celtic tribes will start colonizing, and then eventually they'll start to meet in the middle, and that will lead to a lot of conflicts up there. A little bit up here in Britain and stuff, and like over here. And then Ireland actually starts, and there are pops that live in these places, right? They just don't have any political entities. So for instance, like if we go down here, when we colonize it, we'll start with these 2 pops and whatever else has grown by then as well. So it's kind of nice. You get free pops. You just have to send one of your pops over to start your presence. But yeah, so like at some point, I think it'd be fun to do this run. Alutia is the only existing Hibernian, Irish culture, Druidic religion. They're all Druidic religion up here, basically. They're the only Hibernian, Irish, starting political entity that you can play as. And so I think playing as them, the idea is it takes a long time, but eventually you just start colonizing all of Ireland. So that'd be kind of cool, but it's kind of boring. Not something I wanted to do for my first campaign, as you can probably tell why. Much more interesting to do Carthage. Yeah, I've actually talked about it. Where's Corrali? Getting a free fort would be very nice. Oh, you know what? We don't have a fort in Sardinia. We could use one. Yes, let them do that. I think only 1 fort in Sardinia is pretty much all we need, but still. I've kind of talked about on my Discord a little bit. Not really that much, but I have a list of things I want to do in this game, like before and soon after release, right? I don't think I'm actually that interested in playing Rome anytime soon, Rome itself. But Carthage is the one that most people voted for, but I think soon after that, I want to do like Sparta, right? I think it would be fun to do Sparta. That's definitely like second. I think third after that is probably going to be like, I want to do like a Gaelic, like a tribe. I want to do a tribe to show some of that off. I might do a stream version of that. But doing like a Gaelic, the Celt-Iberian, this is a culture group, Celt-Iberian, right? Doing a Celt-Iberian Druidic tribe in like Galicia, right? Which had a strong Celtic province and does even today. And trying to unite Iberia under them, or at least that area at first. I know there is a formable nation of Calaicia, right, in Galicia. So that would be really cool. Like if you own that region, I think you can do it. So that would be cool. That's definitely like going to be third or fourth for me up there. I think that's a really cool idea. Those are my top 3, I would think. But then I think I also want to do like, I think it'd be fun to do Veneto, right? Veneto is Latin culture group to start, so they're related to the Romans and Etruscans and stuff, right? Language-wise or culture-wise. And so if you conquer the most of Italy, you're not going to have penalties. They start Hellenic as well, so they're kind of like a cousin of Rome or Etruria or whatever. But they start in a region that is dominated, Cisalpine Gaul, which is dominated by, by Lepontic Celts and, Gallic people and Druidic religion. So you start next to some foreign powers or whatever that you would have to kind of struggle against for a while. Like Boy, which is a great name. But if you could get like this area, modern day northern Italy, unified, you could have a decent power and then kind of be rival to Rome, and that would be an interesting dynamic, right? Latin power, but that is not Rome itself. I think that would be kind of interesting. And also has more easier access to like the Balkans. I don't know. Could be fun. To go into Illyria. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up here. Sorry, but hopefully you enjoyed hearing me talk about some of the things I think would be cool to play. When the game comes out, I'm sure many people will try those things as well. Hopefully that maybe gave you some ideas. But I'm going to wrap up this episode here. So thank you guys for watching. Next episode, when we come back, we'll probably go ahead and go to war with Carthage, with Mauritania, and solidify our grasp in northern Africa. I think after that, we'll either focus on Sardinia or Sicily, or Bastetania and that southeastern, we'll conquer our way to Cartagena, New Carthage. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe for more. It really does help this new series get off the ground. These have been long episodes, but hopefully you've enjoyed. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to go over, and hopefully you enjoy. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.